South Africa have just completed a a whitewash, a 3-0 whitewash against India. So proud of these boys, so proud of the team. Well done to Mark Boucher, well done to the coaching staff, well done to the players for this magnificent performance. Wow, I'm sitting here and I can't believe it because we were predicting a 3-0 win to India at the beginning of this ODI series, and now we're sitting here, sitting proudly and smiling at the ODI series win, a 3-0 win for South Africa against India. Magnificent performance today from the boys. It went down to the wire though. There was moments with the ball where I was a little bit worried, particularly that Magala over and that Ngidi over. It was just poor from both bowlers at that particular end. I have to admit that towards the end. Bad execution of the wide Yorker over there. But other than that, a good performance from South Africa. Uh, okay, yes, our batters didn't all come to the party, but Quinton de Kock, magnificent today. We needed someone to stand up in this game. And Quinton de Kock and Rassie van der Dussen did exactly that. It's their partnership, it's their performance that really actually put South Africa in a winning position. But for our bowlers to defend us, even under pressure, I think it's been excellent from the boys. But we want to get going with this particular show. So stay tuned because we're going to get some comments obviously about this. You guys can also call in on the show as well. I'll be providing you guys with the link right now. I'll put it in the live chat. I didn't do it earlier on, but I will do it right now for you guys so that you guys can call in. I will pin it to the top of the live chat as well so you guys can have access to it. Just for future references, guys, we're going to always try and do call-in shows for the review shows. So that's something that we're going to be doing in the future. So just keep an eye out on that for future reference for other games that we do play. I will be posting it right now in the live chat as soon as I just get it available quickly. Post it. That's it over there. And I will pin it right now to the live chat so that you guys can call in. So don't forget to do that later in the show. But let's get straight into today's content. Thanks for everybody for joining in. Please smash the like button. Please comment, please share, please subscribe, click that notification bell for all future videos. But also subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly, every issue 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. Click the link in the description for that. Let's get straight into today's show. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host, Khalid Maiden. This is Aditya, my co-host, and today we're going to be chatting about the 3-0 series win from South Africa's perspective. Aditya, I love you to bits, but you're not going to stop me from celebrating over here and being happy about my team winning. I know how you might be feeling. You might be a little bit hurt. I do feel though for India. Particularly, I feel for Chaha. What a performance from the guy. And to go out at the time that he did, you could see how disappointed he was and how hurt he was. I hope that you guys don't now throw him away and you keep him within the setup because I think this guy is absolutely amazing and talented and deserves a longer extended run. He almost got you guys to over the line. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. At that couple of last few overs, wow, how that game changed, turned around. And it should have never gotten to that point. My point is that I was sitting here comfortably, even with 4 wickets down, 5 wickets down, when India were 5 wickets down, I was still sitting very, very comfortable. You know, I thought South Africa should win this easily. I mean, at that particular point, when 5 wickets fell, you were 195 after 37.1 overs. So I was sitting quite comfortable, and I thought, South Africa the bowlers should be able to take this over the line. But I have to give congratulations to 2 particular bowlers that in the end won us this game, and that's Andile Pechelkwayo. Yes, his first knuckle delivery almost went wide. He was lucky to get that child got a bat on the ball. But other than that, the rest of his over was pretty decent. I was very impressed. But Dwayne Pretorius wasn't even told that he's going to take the last over. Was told just before he had to bowl the last over. And what a over he produced. And if this is going to be our death bowl in the future, I'll be smiling. I'm happy with that. I'm not convinced still about Magala. I know Sasana Magala took 1 wicket today, an important wicket, of course, but I still don't necessarily. I haven't seen enough in the series for me to think that he should keep his place in the side. I think there's still some work there to do, particularly with him handling his nerves. I think he gets a bit nervous in pressure situations, and then I think that certain things go ahead of himself. And I want him to celebrate more. I know I can't ask people to do that, but when he takes a wicket, like, celebrate, be happy about it. Like, like he doesn't seem like he's really happy about it when he takes the wicket. It's like swag all the way. But other than that, I mean, congratulations to the Proteas. Very, very well. Good performances as a team as a whole. Then you should celebrate this. I think the way they were as a team, Timba Bavuma as a captain. Congratulations, boys. So let's get your thoughts, Aditya. What are your thoughts on the match? How are you feeling as an Indian supporter right now?
This is exactly the sort of advertisement that ODI cricket needs. Because if I ask around, what is the most exciting ODI that you've seen in the last year? This should probably feature in the top five. So I think I'm happy for ODI cricket. Uh, South Africa, South Africa were better than India today and deserved to win. They deserved to win the series 3-0. And look, as an Indian fan, I'm gutted. This is it was it was almost like Shikhar Dhawan got out today, and you could just sense that things are going to come crashing down. And then predictably, Rishabh Pant comes in, and I just want to pull my hair out seeing that degree of irresponsibility. I don't care about X factor and I don't care about talent and all of these things, but you do have to play the situation. You've got a set batsman at the other end. And the number one rule in batting when you've lost a wicket is that you don't lose wickets in clusters. And we seem to be doing that consistently in the test series, and now we followed that up in the one day series. That's unacceptable. From the Indian national cricket team, that is unacceptable. And I'm pretty sure that Rahul Dravid will have a harsh word about that. Uh, but the I think the spirit of the team still came through, and you saw that in the way that Sky batted as well, because Sky was still quite aggressive, and he was innovative in the way that he was scooping the ball and manipulating the field and things like that. So that was wonderful. And of course, the man of the moment, Deepak Chahar. I mean, that is an unbelievable innings. He almost put on a repeat of what we saw against Sri Lanka. When he came in at number 7 or number 8, and he just turned the game around. So credit to Deepak Chahar. It was unfortunate that he couldn't pick that slower ball from Lungi and Giri when India needed 10 or 14 balls. But he's not responsible for India losing that game. You know, I think the turning point really was Rishabh Pant and then Virat Kohli's dismissal. But I think either way, there's quite a lot of soul searching to do now, um, because India's last three ODI series overseas have hinted at a degree of an outdated approach to ODI cricket, and I'm pretty sure that that's going to change next month on. You're on mute, bro.
This thing's not working. Okay, so yes, I see. I think India. I mean, I think you guys are still trying to find what your core group of players are. A lot of talent was on display. I mean, I would have wanted. I know it's an excellent win for South Africa, but in this particular match, I would have liked to see some opportunities given. You know that I was under that impression, and I could have. Yes, we won the match, but would it have done harm to have a couple of the newer guys like Calvareno or Zubair Hamza or those guys get an opportunity? Because I mean, our batters didn't come to the party. Aiden didn't come to the party. Pavuma didn't come to the party. So Janaman didn't come to the party today. but Quinn Cock stood out. So I thought that it was a perfect opportunity to give some guys an opportunity today. And I think we lost that opportunity because I think those guys, even if they failed, what they would have learned out of the experience for me also is very important. And we didn't get that opportunity to do so today. But I have one particular little criticism of South Africa's batting. And Ashit's not going to like this. And I've been repeating it over and over again, and I hope it does go in the future. But it's particularly about David Miller when he came in. I mean, out of 78 balls that he should have faced, he faced only 39 of them. At a time when there's a tail that you're batting with the all-rounders and tail new batters at the crease, I think that he should have farmed the strike a lot more. We could have gotten even more runs on the board, close to 300, if he just stuck around. I know he was the last wicket to fall, but still, I think that he should have faced a lot more balls than he did coming in at that particular time in the innings, because he came into the game with quite a lot of overs still left. He had enough time to settle himself in and play and get himself set so that he can play those Miller smashes that we know. But he didn't today. I wasn't very impressed with that because I don't like the way he marshals the tail. It's something that I've always criticized in the past. And yes, you can blame the others for losing their wickets, but I think that him as the senior batter and the specialized batter, that's what he's there for. He's there to bat. And I think he should take more responsibility by facing more balls if he comes into the situation then. But it is still a good performance from him, the score that he did score. I would have obviously hoped for his strike rate to obviously be a lot higher, seeing that he's that number 6 finisher for us. And I know Archie's going to say, yes, it's not his mistake that the other guys don't rotate the strike. But I think you should try and try and take control of games a lot more and give instructions to the guys that they should obviously rotate the strike and put that pressure on them to say, look, yeah, I'm going to take. He needs to be a little bit more authoritative when it comes to that personally. But the only criticism probably that I have from South Africa, I know we won 3-0 and I'm sitting here with criticisms, but it's not going to be a good review show if I don't give other sides to the story as well. I need to be a little bit partial over here. So I haven't seen enough of Magala in this ODI series, particularly. I think he could be better. It's not the best that I've seen him bowl in this series so far. It's not the best that I've seen him bowl. I think that he does feel the pressure a little bit in match situations, and you could see that in his first over that he bowled in the series. And in certain pressure situations, he doesn't nail his Yorker or his wide Yorkers as much as when the pressure's off. He does bowl a very heavy ball, and I agree. But those are the only two criticisms I have. What are you guys' thoughts on that? First and foremost, let's start with Miller. And yes, if he had better batters, whatever the case may be, but his role in the team is supposed to be that anchor that takes most of the strike, in my opinion, especially if more senior batters have lost their wicket. So what's your thoughts on that from that perspective? It's just a small little criticism. I don't think it's, Miller should be out of the team because of it. No, others think it's a small little adjustment that needs to be made for future because we want to see for areas of improvement. Aiden Markham, for example, hasn't really impressed in this ODI series necessarily. Yes, he was part of the team that won us the last game against Paul, that took us over the line. We saw some excellent performances there, but it was a perfect opportunity for him to put some runs on the board and shut up his critics. And unfortunately, he didn't do so. And they maybe should start to think about maybe another, if that's possible, because I think the 7 and 8 partnership of someone like Dwayne Pretorius and Andile Peklakwayo, it could be a good combination in the future. Dwayne Pretorius' death bowling has just come a long, long, long way. I mean, I never expected him to be a death bowler in the World Cup. I don't think he did necessarily, because when he was speaking to us, I know you gave some hints that he's talking about a lot of slower deliveries, wider Yorkers, and things that he's added to his game. He spoke about comparisons to West Indian players as well. But that was in that exclusive interview for the World Cup edition that we did. So you can get some insight into his bowling there. But currently, extremely happy about this performance. I'm really happy that they won 3-0. And particularly, I'm extremely proud of Temba Bavuma and the way he's captained the side, the decisions he's made with regards to when he should change bowlers, etc. he's been an excellent captain. Really, he has gotten the best out of these players. Aaron, we haven't gotten an opportunity to hear from you. What's your thoughts on this game? I want to hear your thoughts on both as a neutral, South Africa as well as India.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations to South Africa. What a way to close out a series. I said it'd be a good series, didn't I, lads? And yeah, that came true, didn't it? What an incredible way to wrap up a 3-0 series sweep. Absolutely magnificent game of cricket. I also do have to mention a quick shout out, Deepak Chahar. That is not the first time he's done that. He did that against Sri Lanka as well. So he's someone who I'm not going to say can by any means, overtake Hardik Pandya's role in that side. But in terms of lower order runs, he's a viable option for India heading into the future. But South Africa, who thought we would have been here after that first test match in Centurion? India 1-0 up. You've won 5 games in a row. 2 test matches, 3 ODIs. It doesn't feel real, does it?
That's
And
unbelievable.
when you think there's so much going on in South African cricket right now, behind the scenes, the chemistry, the dynamic of this team is just so strong. You have to take your hat off to them. I think they've been absolutely sensational. Also, Harley, before we go into more detail, as I see some comments about England versus the West Indies last night from Jean, I have to ask about your shirts. Has it changed at all in this series? Have you changed your shirt once? Have you? When?
Couple of times.
Looks familiar. That's all I'm going to say. I thought I was appearing on the previous show in terms of the attire, but no, getting back onto track. Yeah, obviously fantastic for South Africa. Disappointing for India, though. I've got to be honest. As I said, I mean, in the same way that it was fantastic for South Africa to turn this series around, the way in which India have just capitulated at times in this series, and today, I mean, the selection. Why was Gaikwad not there? It's just I don't know. I don't know what's happening with regards to this Indian side at the moment. They're not a bad team. They're a lot better than this. But honestly, in this series, just things have not gone to plan at all, have they?
I mean, Aditya, there are some guys like, for example, Reliance is coming off the India fans over here. Is India still as confident as they were before the whole tour started? I honestly think you guys thought you'll just rock up and play us off the park. Don't ever disrespect SA like that. To be fair, from my perspective, Aditya, I thought the same thing. I thought you guys were going to come here and wipe us off the park, ODI cricket. It didn't happen like we expected. It actually happened exactly the opposite way. Sorry, I just want to get to the super chat before we forget about it. But thank you a lot for the super chat and the super sticker. He says, what a hell of a series, goosebump moments for all fans. Timber, what a captaincy, what a series, over the moon. Yes, we all are over the moon. Thanks a lot for the super chat.
And his catching. We have to mention Timber's fielding.
Oh,
absolutely superb in this series. We talk about captaincy. It's very, very cliche, but leading from the front, leading by example, catches win matches. Timber completely showed exactly why that phrase exists. So, yeah, well done to Timber. And again, we talk about silencing critics. This series, a very, very good example for Mr. Bavuma.
Okay, Aditya?
Well, I don't know if anyone was disrespecting South Africa, but if I were here to go back to December 2021 and predict what the outcome of the series would be, I'd still say 3-0 to India in both formats of the game. So I don't back off from that at all. Does it suddenly make India a bad team? Absolutely not. I think India is a good team that played poorly in 3 ODIs, and at no stage can we say that India played poorly in the Test series either. It was a shootout between two teams that played similarly in the first innings, and one team played a little bit better in the second innings of both Test matches. So, with all respect to South Africa, credit to them that they won, but I don't think it was a complete mauling of India. So I certainly wouldn't go down there. And if you look at the other side of the spectrum, for 29 years, India has been touring South Africa, and it has always been assumed that South Africa is going to win. The fact that India goes into a series against South Africa in South Africa as favorites, and there is a public outcry about the fact that India lost a series they should have won, is testament to how far India have come as a test team. And to think that they're going to take it lying down and not prepare for their next tour to South Africa is going to be a mistake, because they will. And they will come hard. Again, they will be back. You know, one ODI series victory or one ODI series defeat or one test series defeat won't make India a bad team. They will be back. And again, congratulations to South Africa, Lorenzo. But no one ever meant South Africa any disrespect.
If India become Manchester United bad, then I don't know what will be happening if that ends up happening, because you guys have such a great system with regards to producing talent and producing players, and finding that rhythm, and getting new players in and out of teams. I mean, you can make changes in a team, and then someone new performs. And I mean, the amount of talent that you guys produce over, obviously, because of the amount of people are playing as well in the country. Obviously, it shows. It will be very difficult for India not to come back and be a good team, you know. Um, so yes, I feel, me personally, what I think about why India lost the series is not. Yes, South Africa played amazingly and they won their A game. They didn't make a lot of mistakes in the series at all. They played the best that they could. I think they left their hearts out there in the middle. They truly played like a team, and I think that's the difference. I think with all the disruptions of Kohli stepping down as captain, and and then your main captain can't be there, is not available, and then you have a new like a step-in captain, interim captain, you could say. I think there was too many disruptions for India currently for you guys to have come as a unit and beat us. I feel that the only way you could have beat us if one or two people really stepped up and scored massive scores, like Pant did in the Test series when he scored that 100. You know, so I would like to. You'll be back, definitely. It's the same way I feel about England too. I think England will be back too. I think
this summer.
I think that Ashes was a blip. I don't think
I
just
don't.
didn't. I think it was a
I
blip.
don't.
Guys didn't
I
play
don't.
very good cricket.
I don't think it was, but for the sake of the viewers out there who aren't English, I'm not going to get into that discussion. I think, again, as Aditya has said, you know, one series, it doesn't show how good or bad this team is. This India side are absolutely phenomenal. And again, I'd completely agree with regards to the public perception, the fact that you're going to South Africa after 29 years as favourites, and there is almost that public condemnation when you haven't won these series. Definitely shows how far India have progressed. But again, I just have to give so much credit to South Africa, because no one predicted this. I'm going to be honest. And I'm not just on about us. I'm not just on about the fans or the pundits. Whoever would have seen this coming? You know, this South Africa side, they were the underdogs. And Dean Elgar mentioned it in the Test series, didn't he? About the underdog mentality. They have absolutely thrived off of that throughout both series. And honestly, I could not be prouder of that South African unit. We know that they are capable of these performances. It's just about consistency. And that will be the litmus test heading into the rest of this year now. You've started 2022 well and truly on the right foot with a massive, massive victory against one of the best sides in the world. But again, as we mentioned beforehand about it doesn't quite characterise whether a team's good or bad. This cannot just be the only series victory for the Proteas in ODI cricket this year. You need to build off of it. This needs to turn into momentum. You've got some incredibly, incredibly tough series coming up across formats. If this South Africa side can get those wheels turning, put this into some momentum, get that into motion, it's exciting times, isn't it, to be a South Africa fan? You know, for the first time in, 2-3 years, I genuinely do think there's some hope and optimism in South African cricket, which is fantastic for the global game as well, might I just add.
Do you know what it is for me? I'm glad to have seen improvement since the last time India toured. There's been a significant amount of improvement from the batters, particularly. I feel that the way they've batted compared to how they batted back then, a lot more players were better against, more comfortable against spin, particularly. And particularly in the ODI series as well, you could see a lot of the guys are a lot better against spin. Okay, Janneman, I feel still is a bit shaky against spin. I think that's the reason why we won't just necessarily throw him into the T20 setup, because I think all you do against Janneman in T20 is to stop him scoring, is just throw up a spinner up front and open with
Khalid,
a spinner.
could I just add to that though? That is something which is rectifiable. That is not a
Yeah,
fatal flaw
exactly.
in
I
Janneman's
know.
game. So he's definitely
I was
someone
gonna, I
that
was gonna
South
get
Africa
there.
should be keeping in and around that squad. I'd agree. I'd agree with that
Yeah,
again, because I've seen it firsthand with Dom
yeah.
Sibley. I know that's a different format entirely. I think if we see Dom Sibley back in an England shirt, you'll see that when it comes to spin bowling, as long as you can move your feet, and I mention that all the time, I'll mention it until I'm blue in the face. That is the key thing: moving your feet, both laterally and vertically. If you can meet the spin, if you can play both with and against, you're absolutely fine against spin bowling, because there isn't that same speed. I back Janneman with the right coaching, with the right technical
No,
adjustments
I back him.
to sort that out.
He's still our best opener with Quinton de Kock. 100%, I feel, in ODI cricket. So it's not a criticism on him. I just think I can see why they're not maybe pushing him into T20 cricket as an opener quite yet, because there is a flaw there that is lacking. He's surviving against spin. That's what I'll call it. Currently, he's found a way to survive, because he was going out at first and getting stuck at the crease and looking completely terrible against it. But now he's surviving against spin. And I think we need to get to that stage, and he will get to it. I believe it because of his talent and his ability. I think he will get to a period where he can dominate against spin. Because I'm pretty sure that someone in India, in the IPL, in the next IPL, it's going to happen where they're going to pick him up, or they soon at one of the auctions. I'm hoping so. And then he can get an opportunity to play IPL cricket. And I think that will really, really help him, particularly with his spin game.
But I thought he was quite convincing against spin in the second ODI when he made 91. I thought he played Chahal quite well, and it was, to me, it seemed like quite an improvement because he was
Yeah.
a rotating strike. He didn't consume too many dot balls, and when the bad ball presented itself, he did take the initiative and score off them. So
But the
personally, I thought there
period,
was improvement.
so there is, and that's what I mean, because there is improvement since the first time he started. But the problem with the Anaman, I maybe didn't explain it correctly. It's my fault. But I mean, when he starts up against spin, when he first faces the spinner in the middle, you can see it takes quite a few overs for him to get into it and get used to it before he can start really scoring against it and finding scoring options. So that's why I say comparison between T20 cricket, he's not going to have that time to settle in against spin. He's going to need to play the spinner off the first delivery that he plays. So almost like off the second or first, you can't get too many dot balls in T20 cricket. It accumulates so quickly, and before you know it, you have to score a lot of runs in a little ball. So it's something that he needs to work on to find scoring options. Like Aiden Markram's done it, and I saw it in this ODI series, for example. Instantly, he's moving his feet, trying to paddle the ball, trying to sweep the ball. He's moving his feet instantly. That was his approach against spin, and it's helped him. And you could see it's been helping him in all formats, playing the spinners. He's been a lot more positive. Now we'll get Janneman there. Janneman will be there. He's still young-ish, so he still has time to improve and things to improve. Excellent bloody batter. What a batter. And I think that South Africa is starting to find some consistency. I'm gonna open up the lines for you guys if you do want to call in right now. But we're still gonna chat until we get a first caller. If we don't get a caller, we don't get a caller. But the
Come
lines are
on,
open.
guys.
The
Come
link
on.
is in the live chat, guys. Pinned to the top. If you guys want to call in, so just go ahead and click on that. And
If
you
I
can
was in
join
that
us.
chat tonight, I'd be straight on that line, straight on to have a chance to talk to the great Khalid Murdine after a
No.
3-0 series victory. Things like
I have
this
a
don't
question.
come up often, guys. Take your chances. Carpe diem. Seize the day.
Has Temba signed up for the IPL auction? Do we know that? Do we have information on that?
Do you think he'd get selected?
I do. I think
Who do you
Temba
think
is
he'd fit?
Chennai Super Kings, without a doubt.
Ooh, okay.
Without a doubt, because I think Temba's personality fits the culture of that team. And Chennai likes smart cricketers, they like leaders. That track is a spinning track. Temba is an excellent player of spin. He is a brilliant fielder. And if you look at like right from 2008, if you look at the number of international captains that Chennai has had, it is significantly more than other IPL teams, and that's a large part of why they succeed. So I can totally see, assuming Faf du Plessis is not recruited by Chennai again, I can totally see Themba going in for a reasonable price, opening with Ruturaj Gaikwad. It would be brilliant.
I'm making a note of that. I'm going to send that over to Mike Hessen, so RCB get him instead. Right, hang on. There we go.
Okay, cool. Let me get the first callers on the show. We've got Sharif waiting for us in the back end. How's it, bro? What would you like to say?
Hi.
Yeah, what would you like to say?
It was wonderful day. We played wonderful match throughout the first innings. Then we spoiled that moment. Then after that, little Millet dragged to 290. Then it's a wonderful day. No words. People are worrying about one-day cricket. One-day cricket is dying. One-day cricket is no more. But this is the beauty of one-day cricket. Same day we feeling that India gonna win, South Africa gonna win. So it's been wonderful day. I want to mention especially for Bauma captaincy. His captaincy throughout series was fan, but today the last field change was amazing. So I was not big fan of Bauma as a Protea fan, but I will say I'll just put my big Bauma picture on my wall now. I'm a big fan of Bauma, and yeah, it's a teamwork. We have Bauma bring that core team. Six top players along with. Still, we didn't use Rabada and not today, but still our bowlers done very good job.
Mm.
So as a Protea fan, very very happy. Hope this momentum will keep and continue for the Test series. Also, we have tough series coming against New Zealand. So I'm very happy and great to talk with Aditya and cricket. I'm following you all guys in Twitter. So it's happy to be here.
Thanks a
Thank you
lot.
very much.
Thank you very much for coming on the show and sharing your thoughts. We'll speak to you very soon. I'm thinking about that. What he said now about the poster of Bavuma. You can get a life size poster from Bavuma on your wall. He's 1.6 meters only.
Poster. Can you get a cardboard cutout?
Cardboard cutout. Yes, so like a life size one. That would be great.
I know a company who does those.
That's excellent. Maybe we should get that when we get a studio, guys. We get some cardboard cutouts of some players. We've got Zuko on the line over here. Welcome to the show, brother. What would you like to say? Hello.
You're on mute, Zuko.
Hello, Zuko. Can't hear anything. Okay, you can call back, bro. I can't hear anything. There's nothing coming from you. We've got our man Ashit. He's gonna come shit on me because I said crap about David Miller. What's it does,
Yeah,
brother?
I'm here to defend that. Yeah,
Go ahead, bro.
yeah, I'm just here to defend him. Firstly, on that point, congratulations to South Africa, first of all. And on that Miller point, he was not playing with tailenders. Actually, he was playing with Andile Fekrubayo and Dwayne Pretorius. There are no tailenders. Andile made 4 of 11 balls, Dwayne Pretorius 25 of 20. They could have been a bit faster, but I guess they assessed the pass score pretty well. The Rasi and Quinton, I appreciate that fact that they were going pretty well and they looked set for about 300 total. But still, when 2 wickets were lost, it's not easy to just go out and blaze your way and hit every ball out. Of course, if any of those 3 could have gotten out pretty early without facing any ball, there would have been a drastic collapse, as we have seen with teams in the past. So,
Yeah.
I guess they were, I feel, 10, 15 runs short. I think we were in for a last over blaze, but that didn't happen.
But as a Miller fan, I want to ask you this because as a Miller fan, we know you're a Miller fan, and it's very difficult
Yeah,
to criticize players that you love. Like I struggle every single day doing that.
yeah,
But when it comes to David Miller, it's because I'm a big fan of him, and I know what he's capable of, and because of that, I have a high expectation of what he needs to do. But if you look at someone like Chahar, the way he batted today, majority of the balls he faced, and I know that even if a all-rounders coming to the middle, it doesn't matter. They're a new batter. They're still trying to get their eye in, still trying to find their way. I mean, for David Miller to come in at that particular time, I feel that he needs to face the majority of the balls. You can't be sitting there with 78 balls to face and you only face 39 out of them. I think that's as the
Uh,
designated batter to come and take it forward. I'm
but
a
he
bit
was not also
disappointed,
set
and
at
it's
that time,
consistent
no?
though. But he's done this consistently through. This
That
is
was
not the
only
first
one
time.
match against
No, but I
England.
mean, no, no. There's been plenty of times, Zashi. Let's be honest here, where I feel that you could have marshaled the tail a lot better.
Yeah, maybe I also wanted that, but still, the way they batted, I guess they still got to a decent total. If
Yeah,
he would have gotten out at that point, then we weren't talking here.
yeah,
India would have won the game that at that moment only.
yeah. But it's just because I criticize an aspect of his game doesn't mean I don't want him in the team. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean?
I
So I
I
just
also
feel that it's
wanted
a
him to take the strike, but still, I feel today was not the day. I thought he was gonna hit 20-25 runs of the last over like he does always, but still, I it didn't happen today. No.
yeah. Unfortunately, is there anything you
Yeah,
want to say from a?
congrats. Uh,
Is there,
from an India perspective, first of all, they are no weak team. Uh, just don't judge them by one series or three matches or like that. Yes, I guess they underestimated the Proteus lineup, but it would have been an eye opener for them this series. So expect them to come stronger next time. And there's a series in June in India. Expect them to come stronger and hard at the Proteus team.
Thanks a lot, Ashi, for coming on the show. Always respect your opinion. We'll continuously have this debate until until we're grey and old. See you, bro. Okay, Zuko. We're gonna try again one more time with Zuko. Welcome to the show, Zuko. Is there anything you'd like to say? Stilter, quiet, nothing. Can't hear you, bro. Okay, can't hear anything over there.
Can we go for
Bye.
bye? Yeah, I was going to say he's just come straight from his fishing trip.
Let me do my job. Abai, what would you like to say, Abai? We haven't had a chance to chat to you. You look like you're making some calls there to India to find us Cricket Fanatics Magazine some sponsors. Um, what's your thoughts, bro?
First of all, I want to say it's just nice to see a few callers from the comments, and we see them saying expressing their opinions quite frequently. Nice to hear them for once. Um, I guess when it comes to this game, it was nice to see a pretty eventful end to the series, right? Especially during the end when we saw Chahar counterattacking well, and then the bowlers finally pulling things back and taking the last 3 wickets. But all in all, I think it's a tremendous achievement, like to beat the best Test team 2-1 after losing the first game, and then just keeping the momentum and winning the 3 ODIs. Um, I think um, I wanted to see better bowling performance from Magala this game. I know he struggled last game, bowled a lot of wides, but forget about the negatives. There's so much to appreciate from Bavuma's captaincy to how Quentin de Kock has gone to how Rusty van der Dussen has gone. It seems like everyone's pretty much done their part. Where this team isn't overly reliant on one or two guys.
You're on mute, Arlid.
I know. Can we speak about Boucher? Can we? I want to open up conversation about Boucher and let's chat about him a little bit because I feel like we haven't spoken about him enough in this particular from a positive perspective on this channel. I feel there's been a lot of negativity around his name, particularly at the moment as well. I feel that with the misconduct charges and everything that he's going to be facing very very soon, things can go really really south for him. I do feel that though he should get congratulations for this performance that the team has performed. I mean, Pavuma has been excellent under him. I have to. We probably have to give him a little bit of credit for that as well. To say that, to allow this to the team, or to see the team perform like this under his watch has been, it's been excellent. I feel the things that he spoke about with regards to smart cricket is now coming through. It's not reckless cricket anymore. We are starting to see thinking happening on the field. And yes, your captain probably drives that too. But I'm talking about the batter's approach as well when they're batting. Particularly, I want to talk about the was it the second ODI we have? Yes, the second ODI. We have felt that they split the runs up very well chasing. It's a situation where I feel that we lacked in the past, where we got a little bit bogged down, and then we saw unnecessary runouts happen because of the scoreboard pressure. Where I feel that this time around they didn't really look like they were under pressure because of the scoreboard. South Africa, they always seemed in control and almost like an overhead. So I feel that implementation of whatever Boucher's been doing with them from a mentality perspective, it's paid off. So we're going to have to see and wait and see what happens with regards to his misconduct treatment. If he is trialed and they look at all the evidence and he ends up being guilty for all those things, personally, I wouldn't want to see him as a coach if that's the case. If all of the things that they've been accused of, if he comes through this and he's guilty, I mean, would you want him as a coach of South Africa if that is the case, guys? I want to know your point of view on that. Anybody can go first.
Sorry. Oh, you know what I said about you being on mute?
You're mute, guy. You're mute, Aaron.
Yeah, exactly. I've just done the exact same
You're on
thing.
mute, Aditya.
We're allowed to make our point now, Harley, now that the
Yeah.
stand-up routine has happened. Right, anyway, so with regards to Boucher, yeah, it's all just very complicated at the moment. And first things first, whatever you think about him, whatever's going to happen in the future, you do have to say that in this series in particular, and the Test series, the work that he's done with this team has definitely paid off. And they have finally, do you know, how many times have I said this, Harley, since 2019, when I first came onto this channel, about identity and that brand of cricket? Finally, South Africa, they're beginning to get a little way there. I still think it's taken a bit long. I'm going to be honest, we're in 2022, right? So I think it's taken a long way to get there, but they are beginning to display signs of what I can see as a cricketing identity. How to go about chases, how to win matches, how to restrict opponents to subpar totals. So I think he's done a good job in that regard with South Africa. The only problem is if these misconducts, if these things, as you said, are trialed, if they come back and he's guilty of them, can he stay on as coach? And that is the $1 million question, isn't it? And actually, I'd like to know what the people in the chat think as well.
The
South
million
Africa
rand
fans.
question.
$1 million rand, yeah. Good point, boy.
Which is worth nothing to you, Abhay and Aaron. $1 million rand.
I think it is. It's quite a lot. How much was it? I think it was. So it's quite a few thousand. I certainly wouldn't bet $1 million rand on anything. I don't think so. But as I said, it would be interesting to know the fans' views on this, actually. I mean, if anyone wants to call in on this and have their say about the whole Boucher situation, because let's say he's guilty, would you want him to continue?
That's actually the question. That's the question, is if he's guilty. Because he is... Guys, I think people are running a little bit away with in the reports and stuff, getting false information from different sources all over the place. I think we need to read through all the crap and actually look at the details of a year. And from the press release alone, you can take that. They just got an advocate to be independent advocate to look at the situation neutrally, to be able to look at this from a point of view and trial him. Boucher's gone and gotten his representatives, and he's going to stand trial and face the consequences and face the misconduct trial accusations that he's been faced with. And if he's guilty, I want to know what you guys think. So, Abhay, let's go around. Abhay, Aditya, if this was in your case, what if you had the decision to make that decision as a DOC of for example, would you keep him on as a coach if he's found guilty of those misconducts?
You know what? Before I go ahead and say what I say, this is only what I think, not what CFM thinks, right? So, I think if he is found guilty, then it wouldn't really make sense to have someone with that kind of toxic past to be in charge of the side. And it's not like that there's a shortage of good coaching options. Like I've heard, Jeff Toyana is very good, and I think he deserves to be in and around the Protea setup sooner than later. But at the same time, yeah, credit should be given where it's due. I mean, this was a big. These were two big series wins, both the Test and the ODIs, in the whole scheme of things. But I'm eagerly waiting to see what becomes of the SJN report and what the final decision ends up being.
Aditya.
Look, it's a massive question, and I don't know if I should comment on something that is currently being investigated, but assuming he is found guilty, it's probably a question of whether the team really wants him or not. Because at this point, if there's something that's working for South Africa, is the fact that he started to produce results, and the second half of 2021 and the beginning of 2022 are indicative of a certain turnaround in South African cricket after quite a few bleak years for the team. And if the team is okay with the baggage that might come with Boucher's continued presence as head coach, then by all means it's their decision. But if they're not, and if they feel like it's going to attract additional pressure, then that's a decision that they're going to have to take. Given what Boucher's achieved against India, he deserves a lot of credit, because generally, he's because of the way that he's been recruited, there's been a lot of pressure on him in the first place, and a lot of the media has gone after him. Even when results haven't gone South Africa's way. So now that they are going his way,
He needs the praise.
we have to give at least a certain amount of praise and ensure that we're being fair. Because if there's one thing that I can say about this current South African team, is that they've done their basics really well. Their discipline has been on point, and you can see that that's something that Boucher's teams used to sort of embody. For example, I talked earlier on the show about wickets falling in clusters for India. For the most part, South Africa, through the course of the Test series and the ODI series, have made sure that that has never happened. That is an unbelievable step in the right direction. Even today, when South Africa lost 3 wickets for 14 runs, and I think they were 228 for 6, they still managed to get to 287. Previously, they would have been 250 all out. So that is progress. And ultimately, that 287 ended up being a match-winning score. So that is progress, and there will be times when you do have a collapse, because the opposition is also here to win. But how you sort of deal with that moment of pressure is what defines the team. And I thought the South Africa have done that really well through the course of the Test and ODI series.
Yeah. I just want to address this comment from Lorenzo. He says that Nkwezi already lined up guys. The transformation should happen, but not like this. It all seems a bit desperate to me. A lot of people were implicated, yet they are not getting sanctioned. Only Boucher's. Boucher's getting sanctioned because he's the national coach. So your national coach can't be guilty of misconduct and racism. Like, how can you have a national coach of South Africa and he's racist? That wouldn't make sense. So I know you can't prove like racism, and you can't, obviously, it's very difficult to prove that racism was intended. It's very, very difficult. I don't know how they're going to do this and prove that everything that he's been mistreating people, etc. But from my sources that I have, I don't, Nked has not been approached yet for the position. So that's from my understanding of this particular of everything and the way it's gone down. I think if Boucher does get fired, I think they will open up and do it the right way this time. The problem with Smith and Boucher and the public, problem with some parts of the public that had an issue with Smith and Boucher, was not a problem with the fact that it is Smith and Boucher. I feel that it's the way they went about the appointments. So generally speaking, the the job should have been advertised by Cricket South Africa first and foremost, with certain criteria for the positions, and then people should have applied. And if they already shortlisted Smith as the one they wanted, then by all means he can get a job. But at least they did it the right way and got and advertised it. But it wasn't necessarily advertised in that manner. So people did apply, but they wanted Smith, and Smith got exactly what he wanted. I mean, he first turned it down, and then they put it up for from. If I remember the sequence correctly, this is me. This is not Cricket Fanatics Magazine, so I don't get the channel or everybody into trouble for this. But if I remember correctly, they approached Smith. Smith said no. They went with more money. They put out the advert for the DOC, etc. People applied. They went back to Smith. Smith said, I want more money. And then Smith and then they gave him more money. And he had certain criteria of what he wanted in place. They gave him what he wanted, and then they appointed him. And then Smith went straight for Nkwe, was currently the interim coach at the time. They made him assistant coach to Boucher instantly. There was no advert for the job of Proteas head coach. I didn't see anything going out there. I know from previous times that they required a level 4 for a national coach. And we heard that Boucher was not, apparently isn't a level 4 coach. He's a level 2 or 3 coach, and that was one of the requirements. And people were like, yes, but his international experience should obviously trump that. Me personally, I don't think that that trumps it. I feel that you don't need to be the head coach to give to utilize your international experience to give that knowledge onto the team. You don't need to be a head coach to do that. You can do that as an assistant, or you could do that as a consultant. You could even do that as just a normal guy walking past them in a restaurant. You could give the international experience if you want to talk about certain things. But I'm joking. I'm joking. To be in the team environment and obviously see him there and being with the team, he could have done it as an assistant. That part of the role. The other parts of the role with regards to being the head coach and the level 4 and the level 2, you obviously get taught certain things due to the level 2 or the level 4. So I think it could have been possible for Boucher to be assistant to Enoch. And why wasn't that an option? If you already had, if Enoch wasn't the interim coach and given certain promises or been told by Cricket South Africa that that he should be that he will be the coach after this particular time period. Yes, we had a terrible time in India. It's the worst possible tour you could have had, to go as a new coach into a job, to go face one of the best teams in the world in their home conditions when they prepared the pitches to suit them. And you've got a whole batting lineup that struggles against spin. It's possibly the hardest you could have given him to do. So if they gave him certain assurances that he would be the coach, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they make you assistant, and you are a higher level, and you've achieved the same amount in the domestic game as a coach. Because I don't think that as a player, you can achieve all you want to achieve, but you were a player then. There's many players in all types of sports that have achieved amazing things as players, but they couldn't it doesn't mean that you're going to be a good coach. It's happened so many times in the past in all sports. So that wasn't a guarantee to say, oh, but Boucher can be the head coach. Enoch he's more qualified. He's coached around the world, not only in South Africa. He's also coached 2 teams in Zanzibar Super League 2 finals. He's done it domestically. So from a coaching perspective, him and Boucher should be seen as equal. So that could have also been a situation that could have happened, but it didn't. And Boucher was given the position, and then Jock Cullis was given a position, the position as well. And it seemed like a buddy system was happening. Paul Harris was also involved with regards to the spin consultancy at the time. It seemed like it was a buddy thing, and it wasn't only one person reporting on it. It was almost the entire journalism community was talking about it. Almost like there was constant reports about it in the news about this buddy system that was put in place, and nobody was getting interviewed for positions that were just given and handed to. And I think that was the major problem that maybe some parts of the public would have. Now, I'm just trying to lay out the information for you guys. I don't take really a side on that. Me personally, I'm a massive fan of Enoch because I've dealt with him. I've seen him, what he's done. I've never dealt with Boucher in the way I've dealt with Enoch. I was never allowed to be so close to the team as I was allowed to be close to Enoch's teams. So I've never been allowed to be so close to the Titans teams when Boucher was a coach. I never actually tried, So I don't know Boucher as well as I know, for example, Enoch's coaching methods and his mentality, etc. But let's move on from that. I've just laid that down. Lorenzo's making a very, 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 very good point over here. Oh, actually, he's not. I thought it was about what I was going to say. But Salmons and Langeveld. I want to talk about Salmons particularly. There must be something that he's done over here. No, Lorenzo. Okay, let me put this up on the screen. Does Salmons and Langeveld a level 4? I don't know, but they're not the head coach. The requirement is for the head coach to be a level 4. And it's not me that's saying that he should be level 4. That's the requirements of the job. So if that's the requirements of the job, that's the requirements of the job.
Can I ask something about that? Because it does keep on getting thrown around, right? What is the difference in South African coaching qualifications between a level 3 and a level 4? What's the actual difference?
I don't know what the actual difference is, to be honest. But
Right.
I know that it's not that easy to achieve, to go from 3 to 4. It's a massive achievement for a lot of coaches. Like Ashwell Prince went to he got his qualifications, and it was a massive thing. It's a massive achievement for these coaches to get it. It's like for any job that you go for. I mean, there are exceptions to the rule, but you need your qualifications. If you don't have the qualifications, some people won't even look at you for the job. Why does it have to be different for a massive job like a Proteus job? That's my point. So at least advertise it. And at least advertise it. Allow people to apply. But that wasn't even the case with the Proteus job. There was no applications open for the new Proteus coach. He was just selected. And that is where the criticism comes in. Because they could have still made Boucher coach, even if other people applied. Businesses still do that. It happened to me. At my previous place where I've worked, I was rejected first. They didn't accept me. And then afterwards, 2 weeks later, I got a call saying, because the last person didn't work out, I got a call from them and they said, no, can you please come and join us because we'd like you to be a part of it. I said, okay, cool. So they rejected me first, even though I had way more qualifications than what they were asking for. So even sometimes when you have qualification, you might just not fit the position. So I know that that's the case. My problem is not that he doesn't have a level 4. My problem is that they didn't give an opportunity or open up the job for everybody to apply for it. That's my issue. Allow the opportunity at least. If you say no, then it's no. At least you tried and applied. Then you can speculate that there's bias and all that. Yeah, then it's the speculation. But at least you went through the right channels. And that's all I want. Because if you don't go through the right channels, you open up conversations like this when you have to have these type of discussions. I know that Enoch had a plan what he wanted to do for the team for the next 5-10 years. He had a full-on plan on how he's going to restructure and go forward and build this team into something. So we obviously need to see. You don't know that what the true things are, but the real question was going to be obviously about Boucher. If he is found guilty, would you still want him as the coach? And I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. But I have another caller. Look here, guys, before we get into it, we need to get Ashwani on the show. Welcome to the show, Ashwani.
Yes.
Like to hear your thoughts here, bro, both on South African and India perspective.
The highlight of every show.
I think South Africa played superbly and they deserve to win the series. But I think India gave away both Test and ODI series to South Africa. The way India played. If India when India come to South Africa shores, nobody think about that. India will lose this way. But I think I will give credit to South African management, especially Temba Bavuma. I think his game awareness and match awareness, I think he's phenomenal as a captain. Uh, from I think T20 World Cup, he the way he carried the South African side, I think is phenomenal, and he should be the South Africa's captain for at least 5 years. If he didn't perform, That's not the issue, but I think his captaincy skills are amazing, and he will be. I will say that best captain after Hansi Cronje, uh, captaincy skill wise, because South Africa has lot of the captains who done very well, like Sean Pollock, Graham Smith. But I think the temperament and the captaincy skill wise, I think he's the best after Hansi Cronje. Coming to India, I think India need to sort out their issues, which I talk in the past podcasts. I think they have to sort out their middle order, and they have to revamp their ODI cricket, especially white ball cricket. And you see in this West Indies series, coming West Indies series, you see a lot of changes in India's side. And one thing which I talk about simply about Rishabh Pant, I think if I am the captain of this team, I will kick out Rishabh Pant from the team. Simple is the reason, because the way he played that shot, I think it is not acceptable in the international cricket. It is not gully cricket. It is international cricket. Yeah, no doubt Rishabh is quality performer, and he's the asset in any international cricket. But the way he played that type of shot, it is not acceptable. I think he lacks match awareness, which I think he should be reminded by coaches, because it's not your you can say that uh, gully cricket shot where you play like street cricket. It's not your street cricket. I am not happy with Rishabh Pant. Simple as that. I think selectors should look out the other options. I think in India there are lots of players, around millions of people playing cricket, and you are very lucky that you get the chance in the playing 11 and you place these type of shots. I think it is not acceptable. So I will want to say that I think selectors should look out at Rishabh Pant.
Thanks a lot, Ashwani, for coming on the show and giving your say. Really enjoyed that. I had a good laugh as well. Some great explanations over there. We'll see you again very soon. Okay, guys, I just want to just clear up something about Enoch over there that you guys have said in the live chat as well. Dex and someone else also said it, but I can only find Dex's comment right now. He said, Khalid, SA lost 3-0 in the test versus India, 2 matches by an innings, lost 3-1 at home against England under Enoch and Quay. What's the point of his qualification if his team isn't winning? Boucher lost to England at home, not Enoch. Just to clear that up, Boucher was the coach and assist because it was the first one. And that was the one that we was massively defeated. They got smashed by England, to be fair. Yeah, he's had a couple of losses under his belt since then. The last couple of months have been excellent under Boucher, and he should get praise for that, and he should get a fat well done for that, because the team has been excellent against India. But he has lost quite a lot of games in his tenure as coach. Let's just get that. Also, that's also facts, because he has. So this series win is phenomenal against India at home. It is. But it's also, we need to take it also with a little bit of a pinch of salt. Don't run away with ourselves and say, oh, wow, we're the best team in the world now. No. There's still a lot of hard work to do here for us to become a world-class team where we can say that we are happy that we can beat anybody in the world and go confidently into series. There are still some things they need to iron out. I think also India didn't play the best of cricket in the series as a whole. There were some key figures missing in the team as well. But overall, South Africa still needs to get praise because they played the situation correctly. And if you play the situation correctly, you win matches. So that's just how things work. Anybody else want to say anything?
Well, I'll just, if anyone has anything else to say about the Boucher situation, I was going to move on from that, to be honest, because how long have we talked about that now? It's kind of dominated the show, hasn't it? It's a shame, because we should be talking about what's been an outstanding series victory for the Proteas. And again, this could be a seminal moment. We could be looking back in a few months' time or at the end of 2022 and saying this was the catalyst, you know. to spark off this brand new South African renaissance. But obviously, that is very wishful thinking, right? I'm not going to start making any wild predictions or anything like that. But honestly, I think we have to give a lot of credit to someone else as well in this series, right? And that is a man who Elamazi has just put in the chats. Lungi Ngidi. Anyone want to add on that? Or am I just alone in that point?
No, he's been brilliant, and to be totally honest, he's been sort of underrated in the white ball arena for quite a while because he's not always in South Africa's first choice teams. So for him to come in and put in a performance in the way that he has, taking top order wickets, and in this game taking KL Rahul's wicket early on, was basically defining for the game. So Lungi Ngidi has been brilliant, and somehow he always finds his mojo against India. He always does well against India, which is unbelievable. In even in the Test series when no one was really able to find inroads, when KG was off color, Lungi was able to make the ball talk, and he really troubled the Indian batters. So sure, there has been that slight drop in pace over a period of time owing to injuries and other challenges, but he's a thinking bowler, and I really like that about Ngidi. And another thing that I'd like to say is that Temba Bavuma deserves a lot of praise. That
Yeah.
man is a genius captain. He just gets the drift of the game. He's 2 overs ahead of the game, and
He reads it amazingly. He reads it
Harsha
amazingly.
Bhogle, famed Indian commentator and analyst, just 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 tweeted like a short while ago saying that I am a huge Temba Bavuma fan, which is high praise. That is huge. So Temba Bavuma has gotten a lot of plaudits from Indian cricket pundits, and he absolutely deserves every single bit of it.
So I hope some of you guys actually listen to me for a change, because now we only when other people and pundits are talking about it and saying all these things about Pavuma and how great he is now.
Hang on.
I've been talking
So,
about him for
so the
not
other
you
day,
guys. I'm
the
talking
other
about the
day,
live chat.
you were claiming that you were the catalyst behind Devolt Brevis's rise and that you'd given him coaching advice, and now you're saying that
No, I
you'd thought
didn't.
the whole Temba thing.
No, I didn't. I think you look for certain things. You look for certain things to fit your narrative so that you can have a go at me on live
I
chat, on
just, I
live
just
streams.
think
I think
sometimes,
that's what you're
Khalid,
trying to
there
do.
needs to be a
Uh,
humbling process.
no, no,
That's
no,
all I'm
no.
going to say.
I just feel that I've been called a lot of names and I've been sworn at in some cases in the live chat and been told how crap I am and that I don't know anything about cricket and that I shouldn't try and be an analyst when I'm not actually trying to be an analyst and that I'm a fake analyst and I've been called out on Twitter and I've been tagged in things and been called various names when it comes to me talking about Temba Bavuma. And now no one's gonna I'm just saying, like, now people are talking about him. This is what I've been seeing in him, and now he's doing what I've been talking about, and why they wanted him in this team in the first place is because of these leadership qualities that we've seen at domestic level for the Lions. And I've been speaking about it and how players see him as a leader. And yeah, that's the things that I just want to say. And I just want to put it out there. I'm not a pundit. I'm not. If I was a pundit, I would be applying for punditry jobs at Supersport and at BBC and all of the places, Sky Sports News, and I can chill there with Aaron. But I'm not. I'm not a pundit. I'm
I'm
a
not that level
fan.
yet.
I'm a fan that wants to talk about the game, and I want to provide a platform for all you cricket fans, South African cricket fans out there, even if you're not from South Africa. I want to give you guys a platform to talk about the game. Smash the like button, please. I want to see 48 plus likes. Abai, you have something to share with us? Must I put it up on the screen? Cool.
Oh yeah, so we were wondering what the difference between level 3 and level 4 coaching is. So I guess level 4 is it's more on helping each player because level 4 folks they have a greater understanding of the game. On the other hand, level 3 is they need to take another 5-day course and then a couple of assignments to go with it and an exam. So the point I wanted to make was it's definitely a serious step up, and and if you're a level 4 coach, that certifies something really big, and it definitely puts you out there. So I think for those who are wondering, I found this on the SWD Southwestern District's website. You can check it out, and even I wasn't aware of this until I found out. So
Yeah, I knew it was a massive step up because they wouldn't have made it uh, a a criteria for the application if it wasn't. I mean, there was a reason why they been putting it in the job descriptions for some time now. So yeah, I mean, there are certain things that you'll learn there that will obviously help you. They wouldn't make the levels for no reason. It's not like it's just a piece of paper that you just try to get through. They wouldn't make it there for a reason. There wouldn't be different levels if there wasn't a reason. Um, it's supposed to be there to help you as a coach and improve you as a coach, and I can only see it like that. So my gripes with Bouch is not the fact that he was appointed as the coach. It's the way and the manner in which it happened. That's all. I just do the things the right way. That's all. That's all I want to see. I want to see CSA start doing things the right way and stop cutting corners and stop being corrupt and stop catching on crap. Just do things the right way. Give us the best opportunity to have the best cricket in this country that we can possibly have. That's all.
How would CSA evaluate the equivalent, the international equivalent of a level 4 in a coach? Like technically, I guess the question should be asked if Otis Gibson was a level 4 coach, because up until that point, he coached the West Indies and he was the bowling coach of the English cricket team. So we don't. So he was, from what I gathered in the media, was that he was appointed because he had World Cup winning experience. But we don't really know what his coaching qualifications are.
Abai, can you just quickly check if there's any articles that was written about Otis and level 4 coaching, if he was or not, because that is also something that we may be good.
sure, I'll need a moment.
Cool, thanks, man. Okay, yeah, because that is an interesting point you're making over there, because there were some question marks there too on the way Otis was appointed as well. Because from my understanding at that point in time, after Russell stepped down, I thought Jeffrey Tejana was going to be the next coach of South Africa. I think I was ready to write a feature on it. I was ready to interview him and talk about it. And then all of a sudden, within a day, it changed. And I was like, but I just spoke to Jeff about the potential. We spoke obviously off air at the time. Like there were certain things said obviously off air at the time, or certain things that he couldn't really speak about at the time. But we knew that he obviously would have applied for the role because he was one of the most respected coaches. He still is one of the most respected coaches in South African cricket. And then all of a sudden they went for Otis Gibson. So it was quite a shock for a lot of us, because at that point South Africa never really had a foreign coach, really, you would say, that like Otis Gibson came in when Otis Gibson came in, and it was a bit of a shock for some of us. But yeah, I mean, if that's the criteria, they need to follow those procedures. And yeah, you are right about that. Yeah, while Abba's looking for that, Aaron, is there anything else you want to add?
Yes, because I will have to go in a minute, but it's been an absolute pleasure. Just one final thing from me. Looking ahead, Under 19 World Cup, I predicted this actually last week. Quarterfinals. I believe that our two countries are playing one another in the quarters of the Super League. So I suppose my question would be predictions.
Oh, I'm gonna back the boys. Like I'm obviously gonna do that. But England's a dangerous team, eh?
Yes.
England's a dangerous team. I'm a bit worried about that. It's a pity. Why? How did that work out like that? Damn. What did you guys do in your last game?
What?
I didn't check. I was busy. So what did you guys do in your last game?
Well, we hammered the UAE by 189 runs, I think.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to know
in the group stage.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah, England under 19. It's a good team. Tom Prest, Jacob Bethel, Josh Boyden as well. Lancashire seam bowler. Watch out for him. He's got a very, very bright future. As has Tom Aspinwall again, another Lanc seam bowler. Someone who I haven't mentioned on the platform yet, but just for global cricketing fans to be aware of. Rian Ahmed. Rian Ahmed, Leicestershire leg spin bowler. He has got one of the most potent googlies of any under-19 bowler on the planet right now. He's so aggressive, bowls
On the
stump to
planet.
stump. Honestly, I watched him live this summer.
I don't know, you English guys, you always prop up your players, and
Well,
it doesn't matter
technically-
whether it's your footballers, whether it's your cricketers. It's like they're the next second coming of Jesus every single time I hear a new play coming through. I'm just
Technically.
saying.
Right, if Rian was a Warwickshire player, fair enough. Okay, and that's how I am about Jacob Bethel. But Rian is a Leicestershire player, product of their academy. I saw him this summer against Warwickshire, and we had a ridiculous comeback victory in that game. Thank you, Manraj Jahal and George Garrett for that. But honestly, his leg break and his googly, so potent already. And the guy is, 18 years of age? Really, really excited to see how he develops in the next few years. But all I'll say, Khalid, I do have to go. Wishing
no problem.
South Africa under-19s the best in that game. Okay, I do
And you
hope
too.
that they put together a performance, but
I
obviously
hope it's a good game.
Yeah,
I hope it's a
exactly.
good game.
Exactly. Back in the mighty England, all of the way though, under the guidance of Tom Preston, Jacob Bethel. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get the job done. But yes, I'm going to have to pop off now, gents. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks for coming on,
Congratulations
brother.
on the 3-0. And until the next time, speak to you guys later. Ta-ra.
Cool. Enjoy your week, bro. See you.
I will.
Cool. Yep. Papa, you got something for me?
Yep, this was, I think, as close as what I could find. So, I don't think I saw anything about his CSA credentials, but he did make it to the Proteas head coach position on the back of his previous tenure as bowling coach of the England Test team and head coach of the West Indies, which is still quite a reputation, right? So he was head coach of another team previously, but I think if we look at Mark Boucher, I can't remember whether he was involved with the Proteas before he became the head coach. I do know that he did coach domestically too, but I think when it comes to Otis Gibson, he didn't produce results. I think that's part of what forced CSA to part ways with him.
So what I heard, so what I understand of this particular thing of covering it, etc., is that there was a certain clause in his contract about the World Cup. There was an understanding that he was there for the World Cup, that he needs to go and win the World Cup, and that's why we played a very specific brand of cricket. Otis looked at our team and decided that our best way forward is to play with our bowlers and dominate with our bowlers, and try to bowl teams out. And he was very fierce with regards to that, and we used that as our strength. It has aided us now going into this next generation, because our batting is improved now. Now we're going to start seeing our batting level with our bowling, and if we can do that in South African cricket, we will be able to beat any team in the world, I feel. Because there was a bit of a lag. The bowling was way better than our batting, and now this time around as well. But this time around, what we've seen in this series is our batting winning us games. And that's excellent to see, because you can't have so much pressure on your bowlers consistently. There are going to be some games that are going to be off, like Lungin Gidi. Figures wise, he had an amazing game, but there was patches in this game that he looked a bit, like not on his A game, and that's bound to happen when you're a sportsman. You can't be 100% all the time. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I can speak about when it comes to that. But guys, let's get your final thoughts. Before we sign off, it's been a very, very long show. We don't normally go so long into the hour, but let's get your final thoughts. I'm gonna get your thoughts about first, and then Aditya, I want you to sign us off.
It's great to join in. I'm a little disappointed I didn't get a chance to say much during the test series, but still, this is a big occasion, because it was an excellent bounce back after the first test, which after losing that, it seemed to be a bit demoralizing. But to pick up the pieces and produce a clinical display of cricket, it's unbelievable. That too against a team that arguably has the best bowling attack, at least according to me. When it comes to the ODIs, it's nice to see the batting improve, especially the top order. I know there's been a lot of criticism, but at the same time, I think Temba Bavuma has adjusted to his role well, taken full advantage of all the opportunities presented, and he's just feeding his own strengths. He knows how to rotate his bowlers. Um, is his century in the first game, that was a calm, cool, and collected knock. I think we're only going to see more consistent returns from him. I guess when it comes to the bowling, even though Magala kind of struggled, we're going to have to give him some more games um, to be sure that he is in fact good enough at this level. I'd also like to see Kyle. I would have liked to see Kyle Verreynne or Zubair Hamza get a game this time around. Wasn't meant to be, I guess, but I hope we get to see younger players get more game time in the future. I mean, you can't quite wait for like a player to get injured to fit these young guys in, because part of the transition process is figuring out where you can fit your newcomers, because these are all long-term options, right? But with that being said, really appreciate all the cricket that's happened, and it's great to be involved in this discussion. Thanks.
Yeah, I just want to update quickly. Somebody asked me before Aditya goes about the next fixtures we play. So we play the New Zealand. Those are going to be difficult for us to cover, guys. That starts at 12 in the morning. So I'm going to have to change the way I sleep during that period. Uh, because I mean, it starts midnight. But anyway, the 17th to
It
the
starts at a
21st.
good time for me. It's
Good time for you, yeah. I'm
so
going
all
to have
those
to.
session reports, match reports, whatever the heck you need, I got it.
Okay, awesome. I can lean on you for that one. Aditya, I don't know what we're gonna do, bro, with the shows and stuff. Okay, but it'll be early morning for me and probably afternoon roundabout for you when the game ends or the day session play ends. I think won't it be?
It'll start for me at 3:30 in the morning, and
No, to
probably
start for you, but when it ends,
yeah, like probably like 11 o'clock,
yeah,
11:30.
yeah,
But then also
yeah.
rains a lot in New Zealand, so
That's also
um,
true.
we'll
Have
have
to
to hope
see.
that it's not rain interrupted.
Yeah. So it's two test match series. The first one starts on the 17th of February, and then we play the second one on the 25th of February. Then we play Bangladesh in some ODIs. There's on the 18th of March, 20th of March, 23rd of March, three ODIs, and then straight into a test series against Bangladesh as well. This is all in South Africa. And then, I didn't know this, but we play a T20 series against India in June. I didn't know that. It looks like it's away. So hopefully that goes through. There's five T20s before we play England in July. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be fun. Oh, imagine if we can do that. Guys, get us sponsors, get us money so I can go visit a teacher in India for the T20 series, bro. And then we go from there to England. Woo! Aditya, what's your final words?
Well, South Africa should party tonight. This is they've turned the corner, and they've really sort of validated the process that they were endorsing for such a long period of time when the team wasn't winning consistently. So this is a great time for Mark Boucher and the team, and um, I think this is possibly the strongest statement to the critics of the South African cricket team. So all I can say is congratulations. As for the Indian team, well, I'm sure they're going to be waiting to get back on that flight to India, and um, there will be a lot of soul searching to do. But I think there's also quite a lot of optimism, because you can't keep a good team down for too long. So we will be back, and we'll be back strong against the West Indies and Sri Lanka, and then all the series in the next couple of months.
Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to smash the like button, please. Comment, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. The latest issue is out. It's all about the weeks, the age group weeks. So Kai Majolo, Cubs Week, women and men, girls and boys. The link is on the description to subscribe for that as well on the screen. You can have a look over there. It's just cricketfanaticsmag.com/monthly-magazine. So go ahead and download the latest issue of that and subscribe to all the issues. 100% free. To Abai, to Aditya, to Aaron, to all the guys that have tuned in, thanks a lot for tuning in. All the callers, the super chat, thanks a lot for that too. We'll see you again tomorrow with another daily show. We'll be going back to our normal daily shows until we get some more cricket to talk about. So stay tuned for that. It will be same time, same place, right here on Cricket Fanatics Magazine. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your week.